In the chat, we're going to be talking in just a moment with Raph Koster, and in the chat, get ready to ask your Star Wars Galaxies question. We're broadcasting live from E3. My name is David Lawrence. It's the IGN Gamespy Livewire edition of the David Lawrence Show, and joining us now is Raph Koster. How you doing, man?
Trying to get the headset on.
Yeah, you're doing great.
All right.
Everything's fine. Chief Creative Officer of Sony Online Entertainment. People walk around and grab you and go, "What's up next?"
Well, sometimes.
Do you have people that run interference for you? Do you have people that run interference for you?
I don't have people. I plunge in myself.
You like talking to the people, right?
I try to hang out on the forums a lot. I try to do a lot of talking to people. To my mind, it's an entertainment business, right?
Sure.
We're really trying to find ways to entertain people, keep them happy, and if you just lose touch with what people are interested in, then.
Right. The forum's obviously very active at Gamespy, very active at IGN.
I read them.
Yeah. Okay. So he's hanging out there. What's your slug on the chats? Is it just Raph, or do you have a name?
I usually just post under my own name. If I'm posting over on some of the different forums, like our own, I've got a handle on the Galaxies forums, for example. Mm-hmm. I'm Holocron on there.
Holocron. Okay, there you go. If you have questions for Raph Koster, get him into the chat. Tell us about Star Wars Galaxy.
Well, it came out last year, and the response has actually been really phenomenal. We're really happy.
Coming up on 1 year. It was in June, right?
Yeah, it'll be June. End of June will be 1 year. We've got Jump to Lightspeed coming out. That's the next product in the line. We're really excited about that. We're getting a lot of good response.
I noticed you have the stormtroopers keeping guard on you over here. Are they with you, or? I
think there's posters for Star Wars Republic Commando right over there. I bet they're with them.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
That's kind of scary. I'm being stalked by stormtroopers.
That's really. I think they're just positioned there. They knew you were coming.
Yeah, maybe.
So you've got Jump to Lightspeed coming up.
We got Jump to Lightspeed coming out. It's Twitch-based space combat. Right off the bat, you can get a ship. You can, jump in, take off into space. There's over 15 different ships. There's over 100 different missions. It's Twitch-based space sim. Joystick or gamepad or mouse control. Mm-hmm. And it integrates seamlessly with the ground game. So it's a pretty action-oriented experience. You've got your escort missions. You've got your seek and destroy missions, and so on, right? Space sim style, but you pick up loot, you acquire stuff, you can attach it directly to your ship, and you can take stuff that you can then take back to the ground game and trade with or whatever. There's going to be 4 new professions. Some of them are people who are shipwrights who can make new ships, things like that. So anybody can get kind of the base ship, but after that, you start needing to go to other players to get the cooler stuff.
Very nice.
And
so it's not just playing against, but playing with.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. Nice. There's an Imperial track, a Rebel track, and of course the neutral track where you don't have to be on either side.
We're talking with Raph Koster with Sony, and when we come back, we're going to go to the chat and get some questions and discuss more on what's going on with Star Wars Galaxies and the whole Star Wars Legion there. It's 28 past the hour. It's the David Lawrence Show, special IGN Gamespy Livewire edition, broadcasting live from E3, the Electronics Entertainment Expo, at the Los Angeles Convention Center, Los Angeles, California. Back in a moment.
From Hollywood, this is the David Lawrence Show.
Thank you so much for tuning in. It's a special IGN Gamespy Livewire version of the David Lawrence Show. And if we learn nothing else here at E3, Spiff, we've learned that, yes, in fact, stormtroopers can sit down.
Okay.
Which is kind of neat. I've never seen a stormtrooper actually sit.
That's a good point.
And then we found out that his butt is falling off. So that was making it uncomfortable for him to sit.
Poor
so
Imperial craftsmanship.
You brought your own bodyguard here. This is terrific. Raph Koster is with us from Sony.
I don't know if he's my bodyguard. His gun is pointing at me.
He keeps pointing the gun at you. I don't get this. But thank you for showing up and for your service to the Empire. Okay, there we go. We got Raph with us talking about Star Wars and the entire series. We've got a ton of questions in the chat. We'll get to those in just a second. You were talking about how the Galaxies series sort of developed.
Yeah, we launched the original title near the end of June last year, and over time we've been putting in a lot of additions. So I think highlights last year were when vehicles went in, people immediately started setting up along the pod race course, which in our time period is already destroyed, but they replicated it. Doesn't matter. The players replicated it anyway. They set it up again. They started racing speeder bikes around the course.
Right.
Player cities has been huge. We put in player cities. This allows people to put down their own buildings anywhere on the map that they can. Elect a mayor, kind of set up laws for their cities. There's over 3,000 player cities in Galaxies today.
There's a phrase in the business called emergence, where you're kind of like watching as you're developing the game, and you have plans for the game, but things happen that you had no idea were going to happen. You welcome that?
Absolutely. It's really at the heart of MMO gaming, right? That's what it's about. It's about players expressing themselves. When we put in player cities, we expected to get mayors and some cities that would fight wars. What we didn't expect is for there to be a Miss Galaxies beauty pageant, right? But there was.
Of course.
And the Wookiee won.
Natural gravitation towards sexuality. That's what it's all about. Go to the chat room and see what's going on in the arcade. We're actually streaming video via eBroadcasters in the Insider area, and we've got chat going on. Spiff is handling that along with Tob.
That's right. Techie Crust wants to know if there's going to be any kinds of ships available for players that are non-faction.
Yes, there are. Players, one thing you all need to know about Jump to Lightspeed is that any player can get a ship quickly and easily. It's not going to be a really badass ship. It's going to be something kind of basic. But any player is able to quickly get a base ship and get out into space. And that means Rebel, Imperial, or neutral players. And there are missions tailored for each of these. There's different tracks for the different factions. So if you start doing the Rebel or Imperial missions, you will start advancing in the ranks on that side. But neutrals do have their own track. They can get a ship and get out there and start blowing stuff up.
Mm-hmm. On both sides, they can. Anybody's fair game for them.
Actually, that is true.
Yeah.
If you're taking smuggling missions, for example, it might be, forgive me, it might be something that's interdicted by the Empire or whatever. And
hey, you got to protect your cargo.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
All right, back to the chat.
So Cole wants to know, what are some features planned for players who have maxed out their skill points and their credits?
Well, we've been doing a lot of stuff. We've got this monthly published plan that's been going on. And, we've been slowly revamping a lot of some of the systems. So, for example, we've got a major Galactic Civil War update coming up, a big combat revamp where we're going to be going through and adjusting the difficulty on a lot of stuff. I would actually expect to see the high-end difficulty of the game go up quite a bit. So I think that we're going to be seeing that. Combat hopefully will become much more tactical than it has been till now. Mm-hmm. I think we're paying a lot of attention. A lot of our user base is up at that high level. And, at SOE, we've got a long tradition of cranking it up, making it a little tougher.
Absolutely.
So I think we'll see a lot of that.
When you walk the floor here, or when you go to user conferences, or whether you're online and you're sort of just touching the customer, have they come up with stuff that has made you change your ideas whole about the game?
It's pretty common that customers will come up with things that developers didn't think of.
Yeah.
That happens a lot, right? Fact is, the developers are working on it all the time, but rarely do they have as much time to play as the users do,
Sure.
right? So the users often have a very different perspective on what's going on.
Do you have any play rule for the developers, like they have to spend at least 15 to 20% of their time playing the game?
Actually, we do.
Yeah.
We have a rule that all the developers have to play. It's actually Fridays. We call Friday Play Day.
Mm-hmm.
They have to spend half the day playing on Fridays. And the second half of the day is specifically set aside for stuff that's not on the schedule. It's, okay, anything you saw that really bugged you this morning,
Right.
Go fix it.
Right.
Right? So, yeah, we absolutely try to keep them in the loop that way.
Raph Koster is with us from Sony Online Entertainment. We're talking Star Wars Galaxies, and I'll go back to the arcade and see what else we have for questions.
So Hothead wants to know, will Wookiees be able to wear the Jedi robes in the upcoming revamp?
Actually, I don't know the answer to that question.
Nice.
I don't know the
He's
answer
got a
to
gun
that.
trained on you, and you came up with that?
We stumped the guest.
Nice. All right. It's the IGN Gamespy Livewire on the David Lawrence Show. Spiff is in the chat. If you want to join the chat, and if you're hearing this on the radio, you can do it tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. We'll be here Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. If you're hearing it live on the radio, then this was taped earlier in the day, but you can still jump into the chat, and you can download this from the File Planet as well. Other questions in the chat?
Absolutely. Cloudstrife18 wants to know, says that the Empire in Star Wars Galaxies feels really greatly outnumbered. Is there any balancing issues to fix this plan?
It actually varies by server. So some servers have more Imperials and Rebels, others have more Rebels and Imperials. That said, a lot of the balancing isn't necessarily about numbers. The Imperials get much better equipment, for example. They get AD-STs, for example, that you can command. So kind of like pets or hirelings. You can order them around if you're high enough rank. Mm-hmm. So they do get some gear that really kind of overwhelms it. A well-commanded Imperial troop against a same-level Rebel group, if the Imperials have the gear, they can often win. That said, that is something that we pay a lot of attention to. As part of the GCW, one of the things that in the revamp that we want to do, we obviously want to pay attention to the balancing. We want to make sure that both tracks feel real appealing. But most importantly, what we want to do is make the GCW really the heart of the Elder game, what advanced players want to do the most, really make it so that it's really feels integral to the game, really make it central. So, we're really trying to make that feel more strategic and more tactical and more important to everyday lives.
Live on the floor at E3 at the LA Convention Center in Los Angeles. It's the David Lawrence Show. Special IGN Gamespy Livewire version. Raph Koster is our guest with Sony Online Entertainment. All week long, we're going to be featuring very, very important people, VVIPs, here on stage. Raph is the only one that's brought his own guard. You're doing a good job, by the way, even though your butt's falling off. Again, do you dream about this stuff? Do you find that your dreams have changed because you're in charge of projects like this? Because the way you speak is a language that is very specific to what you do. And I imagine if that sort of starts to invade your body.
It takes over my life. When we were working on Galaxies, I literally had daydreams about sand patterns on Tatooine. I'd fall asleep at night going, oh, the ripples on that look wrong. Oh, we need to get the rock to stick out more. That kind of stuff. Yeah, it takes over your brain. It's kind of like the old Tetris dreams.
Sure, absolutely.
Where the entire world would look like
blocks.
First
time I used a mouse, I was mousing in my dream and dragging and dropping. The very first time you used a graphical interface, it's such a change in how you do things, so...
It's the game is rewiring your brain.
That's right. Thank God. Yeah. Back to the chat in the arcade. What else we got?
So,
there was the California first time today. There we go.
Tobonic wants to know, if you're going to be able to take ships out like vehicles and fly around planets, how seamless is the vehicle action going to be with action, say, on the planets in the game?
We're not doing atmospheric flight for jump to light speed. What we're doing is you go to a starport. You got to check your space vehicle out of a spaceport, and then we do zone you. Okay, it's not seamless. We're not. Unfortunately, tech isn't quite there yet to let you just fly around, come down through the atmosphere, burn up in it or whatever, come down, land at the spaceport, fly around. We're also a little bit nervous about letting people strafe X-Wings down the streets of Tatooine. That does make us a little bit nervous. Might be a little bit unbalancing for the guys on the ground. Mm-hmm. So right now you do zone. There are
those great cannons. Can't they just set those up? Can't attack unless you've got cannons?
Well, yeah, the problem is, what if you don't have a cannon and the X-Wings come in anyway?
Then they can't come in.
Well...
Okay, fine.
Might be a little hard.
Sorry. Didn't mean to jump the track there.
Yeah.
All right, go
ahead. There's over 10 space zones, and the space zones are centered around the different planets. So once you head out into space, you're then able to go to the different kind of hyperspace points and navigate through those to get to different space zones. And once you're in a different space zone by a different planet, you are able to land from there. You just need to find, get to the local spaceport orbiting beacon so that you can then head down to the planet. So it isn't seamless in that sense. Part of that is because the mechanics are fairly different. On the ground, it is an RPG combat system, but up in space, it's twitch-based, right? It's literally, you got to aim, you got to click the mouse, shoot your bolts.
Right.
So part of the goal here is what we're trying to do with Galaxies is really encompass a variety of experiences. That's really been the name of the game since day one, right? We've got the social aspect. You've got the city building. You've got the economic system, which a lot of people play like a strategy game.
Sure.
You've got the RPG combat.
It has so many elements of all these other... It's like, you've built in sim into this. You've built in a whole bunch of things into this that people can just concentrate on if they don't want to do shooting games, right?
That's right. That's actually part of the point. So by adding jump to light speed, what we're doing is adding another way to play the game.
Right. All right, terrific. I'm going to ask you, sir, to help escort our guest out, make sure he's safe. and goes on to his next mission. Raph Koster.
I'm not going to a cell block, am I?
No, I don't think so. He's just going to go to the bathroom, I think. Raph Koster from Sony Online Entertainment for Star Wars Galaxy. Thanks for being on. I appreciate it very
thing.
much.
It was a
there
pleasure.
You go. Give him a big round of applause. There you go. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We got more chats to talk about. And coming up, we've got the team behind Galactic Conquest for Battlefield 1942. Back in a moment.
Election day is around the corner. Everyone is making promises. But if you're a homeowner strapped for cash, you need someone who can help you today. Call Genesis Financial.
This is Jim Eichenbaum. And even if you have less than perfect credit, we can still help you take advantage of rates less than 6%. So don't be misled by all the empty promises made by other lenders who keep asking for more time and paperwork. There's no bait and switch, no upfront fees, just straight talk and honesty.
Call Genesis Financial at 888-32-APPLY and save thousands of dollars in less than 20 minutes.